And from private camps to specialized coaches and even hype videos, there are a lot of parents out there sinking a lot of money and time into their kids' sports. Former Chicago Tribune sports writer Teddy Greenstein takes a deep look at the increasingly competitive world where it all keeps starting younger and getting more expensive. His new book is Quarterback Dads: Wild Tales from the Field. Teddy joins us this morning. How are you?
Good morning.
What's up, Pat, Larry? Good to see you. Hey, Robin. Great.
You know, I think so often we hear about these crazy, overbearing sports parents, right?
Yeah.
But I think, and you guys would probably attest to this, most parents want some guidance on what is the best way to go about it. What are some things I should be doing? What are some things I shouldn't be doing? What did you find in your research?
Pat, there's a lot in this book. There's some do's and don'ts. You know, one of the first do's a lot of the smart people in here talk about is do not specialize. Don't be a quarterback 12 months a year. One, you're going to wreck your shoulder. Two, you might just burn out. So it's best to play other sports. Play basketball, run track, go outside and play tag. And if you're going to play baseball, even better than being a pitcher, be a second baseman or shortstop so you can learn to make all those off-angle throws. So that's certainly one of the things. One of the don'ts we certainly talk about is on that car ride home after a game, don't pepper your kid with questions. And I've had to get better at this too. I'm a soccer dad. You know, talk about ice cream, talk about getting some froyo, but don't start saying, hey, who do you think played well and what did you make out of it? Just if they want to bring it up, they will.
You talk about the importance of being a good communicator and actor. Why is that important?
Yeah, so one of the interviews for the book, the first two people I wanted to get was Archie Manning, because I felt like he's the ultimate quarterback dad, and Todd Marinovich. Those of us who were old enough to know know that he was pretty much victimized by his dad and turned into a science project. But what I learned from Archie was to form individual relationships with your kids, because he's got Cooper, who's a total cut up, and then he's got Peyton, who was so intense. He was the kid who was going to a Little League game saying, you got to take extra batting practice and you got to take extra fielding practice. So with him, Archie was like, would you calm down? Would you get a girlfriend? Go to a movie, just relax. And then the final one, Eli barely said a word until he was 8 or 10 years old. So he had to bring more personality out of him. So every kid is different. Form that bond, and then you'll know if you need to kick him in the butt or if you need to hold him back.
Don't you find now that everyone thinks their kid's going to be going to the major leagues, and it's just travel teams all year long, and it's what is the percentage of kids that make it to that next level? Isn't it worth pushing your kids into all these travel sports?
Yeah, it's a great question. So, Robin, we call those daddy goggles, where you think your kid is so much better than every other kid. And, you know, the realism is that most of them are not going to make it. I mean, most of them might have a good high school career. A lot of these parents are looking for an ROI, return on investment. They want to get their kid a college scholarship. And it's totally understandable when schools cost $80,000 a year. So on the one hand, you have to be realistic. On the other hand, we've got tons of stories in this book of success stories of, you know, a dad who moved his family from Canada to Detroit to get better training from Donovan Dooley, and now he's going to be getting his education paid for.
But how do you know when is the smart play to do that and go all in on your kid, and when is, you know, because I think a lot of times parents, they're not looking at things realistically.
Correct. So a lot of times, you know, a parent will be texting Donnie and he'll say, and the parent will say, hey, text me all the schools that are interested in my kid. And Donnie will go back and say, I already did. And the parent's like, I haven't received anything. And Donnie says, exactly. When you're good, they'll come to you. Now, look, there are a lot of exceptions. One of the things we talk about as a do in this book is create some social media profile, especially if you live in an area where a lot of coaches aren't going to naturally see you. So if you have a good following on Twitter and Instagram, you're going to get invited to camps. Coaches are going to see you, especially during the pandemic. Coaches wanted to see video. So, you know, create a good social media, but don't go overboard. Like the first reporting I did on this book, there was a drone flying overhead on a 7-7 workout. I said, what's with the drone? Oh, well, there's a camera attached to it because I'm preparing video highlights for an Instagram package. So some of it is good, but some of it might be a little too much.
Tell us about this Trey Taylor. He's a 7th grader from around here.
Trey Taylor is exceptional, and his dad, JR, is a classic quarterback dad. His dad scored a bunch of touchdowns at EIU. So Trey has his own logo. He wakes up at 5 in the morning to a breakfast of grilled chicken and oranges. He does yoga. He does speed training. He's in the 7th grade, and he's already been offered by the University of Maryland. He's the cutest kid. He's like a mini Patrick Mahomes. He's smart. He's polished. Amazing parents. So on the one hand, you could say JR is overboard. On the other hand, it's working.
Yeah, we all know, didn't we all know that 12-year-old kid who was the king of the schoolyard and barely made the high school team? That has to be the exception.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, there are a lot of kids who either get injured along the way or just lose interest. And that's, something that's concerning. Like I talked to a dad in Detroit, and he already has a 3-minute highlights package of his kid on Facebook. His kid at that point was 6 years old.
No.
Wore a fake arm tattoo sleeve to games, has customized cleats. The dad says a rival team already offered the family $1,000 to switch teams. Like, you worry that the kid is going to peak when he's 9 years old.
Yeah.
And look, even the kids who get drafted in the NFL, like over the last weekend, you don't know if they're going to make it in the NFL.
Yeah.
And they've already reached a level here. So try to keep it fun for as long as you can. Don't be thinking of NIL money and scholarships in the NFL. Keep it fun, and then, in the distance, think about the bigger prize.
Weren't we talking about this, Larry, how you said like some minor, you go to a minor league baseball game and every person on that team was all-state in
everything.
their high school.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
And they're not even in Double-A.
Yeah.
Right? And people don't have that perspective. They just don't. So there were some parents when we were younger who were that way, but it seems like there's more of it now. What is that? Why does it seem more prevalent now?
Because when we were kids, it was, be outside, play tag, come back when it's dark. And then all of a sudden, youth sports became really a big business.
An industry,
So
right.
my girls play for soccer for the Fire Academy. 2 weekends ago, I was at the Wisconsin Dells for a tournament. Last weekend, I drove to St. Louis for a soccer tournament. So I'm in the throes of this as well, and I'm already thinking for my younger one, ooh, maybe soccer can be her way of getting, into a better D3 school. So we are all guilty of this, thinking there's going to be some payoff at the end. I think that's what it is. There's a lot of money going to quarterback trainers like Donovan Dooley, and people say, okay, if I'm going to be spending all this and that and flying my kid all around, I want to see a payoff at the end.
But if your kid's good enough, they'll find them.
Probably.
Right? Yeah.
Create some social media just in case.
Okay, thanks so much. The book is Quarterback Dad's Wild Tales from the Field. You can find out more at quarterbackdads.com or follow Teddy on Twitter. Thanks so much for being
Good to
here.
have you with us.
Loved it, guys. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.